Susan Hubbard, founder of Eureka Recycling and current lead consultant at Nothing Left to Waste.
Zero wasted. How my work intersects with zero waste? Well, I follow zero waste. I try to find it. I explore it. I urge it. People have told me that I insist upon it. So zero waste is a very evolving thing for me. And so I think that my work, how it intersects with zero waste, is that I'm looking for the intersections all the time. And it's a dream come true to be standing here with this many people that understand what zero waste means and that want to talk about it. And once again, Eureka Recycling has made a dream come true for me, so thank you, Eureka. I wanted to say that zero waste is co-opted in more than the zero waste to landfill, meaning burn everything. It's also this idea of mixed waste processing, which is really big and it's growing and it's gaining steam. And the idea is that we don't have to separate materials anymore. It's just not convenient enough. It was too inconvenient to separate the paper from the containers. So we had to put them all in one container. And now it's just too darn inconvenient for us to separate that from the trash. And the garbage industry wants us to believe that we can get to zero waste by picking through the trash or just using magnets or whatever. And I just want you to be on the lookout for this kind of idea that less separation and more convenience is going to solve it. So what is zero waste, if I'm saying what it is not? It's evolving, and I can tell you for me that zero waste is the moment when you go beyond me and mine and you include others. To me, that's what zero waste is. And the demonstration of zero waste is every kind of kindness that follows. And we've heard all of these people today talk about that kind of kindness. And so, obviously after decades of working on zero waste, I can sound kind of a little bit airy-fairy about it, but I'm very grounded in the reality after having worked at Eureka for over a decade and continue to work with them closely, that it's also grounded in this paradigm of how we value things. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Values domination. I like the word domination entirely. I just want to let you know that. So I'm not one of those people that shies away from domination. But values that dominate and displace old values. That's, once again, another great way to talk about zero waste. And I think that what I wanted to bring up the point here is that there's some people that really believe that that's really still the stuff of unicorns. They're like, hey, Susan, we still have to deal with waste today. Ramsey County tells me we have to pay $240 million for an incinerator that we've already subsidized to the tune of $500 million because, hey, Susan, there's still waste today. And I'm thinking, well, maybe if we hadn't subsidized it to the tune of $500 million, there wouldn't be waste today. But, so let's just say, is zero waste the stuff of unicorns? And I say, it's hard to argue it when you see this sort of unstoppable fire, and I use that word purposefully. In this country in particular, we have to have it now. We have to own it. It's particularly important to us. We want to use it, and we have to use it up. We feel really important to finish it off, clean our plate, so to speak. But today I see a change here, and I know you see this change, and so I want to capture this moment to talk about what zero waste is really made of. And if it's the stuff of fairy tales, it's the fairy tale where everybody has been afraid to say that the king has no clothes on, but finally, the discomfort of that lie is much worse than the embarrassment of the truth. And that's what zero waste is about. Zero waste faces the truth. And zero waste isn't really about waste. It's about knowing that there really isn't waste, even though it seems like there is. And this is really like the meaning of zero waste when you get down to it. But you have to face some hard truths to really get down to that. And we had to face the fact, and this is a big one, that we don't own anything. And, really we have to face the fact that we don't even own our own bodies. We are not taking this with us. And we don't like to think about that. It's disconcerting. And if we can think about it for ourselves, we certainly don't want to think about it for the people that we love. But in really contemplating that idea of ownership, we really can enjoy the importance and the preciousness of the fact that we're borrowing it. And so zero waste is like, it doesn't say, okay, well, we don't own it, so let's treat it like the rental car. I don't know about you, but my husband said, whatever. I just want to say, it's like zero waste asks us to treat everything as if we borrowed it from somebody that we don't know yet, but we are going to fall in love with them. And they are our child. And they are our children and our children's children. So that's who we're borrowing it from. So I guess the last thing that I want to say about that is the other hard truth that zero waste asks us to face is that our prosperity is in large part due to the suffering of countless of others. And for every bag of trash that we create, there's 7 more that are created that we don't see, but we are directly responsible for it. And it creates tremendous sufferings for millions of beings. And the economy that all of us in this room are prosperous, like no other country and no other place. And that prosperity is built largely off of slavery and fossil fuel. And zero waste asks us to face it. We can't dial it back, but we can change it right now. So the last thing I want to say is there's some extreme actions that you have to take in the face of this. St. Paul is putting out their bid for recycling for the first time in many years because Eureka Recycling stood up and opposed an incinerator being built at Rock 10. And the city is spanking back a little bit, and we need for folks to stand up and tell St. Paul that we want a zero waste recycler. This isn't about me getting a paycheck, and I don't work at Eureka. This is about a zero waste organization, and it's the only one we have in Minnesota. And if you're not willing to fight for it, it could go away. The other thing is that there's a huge opportunity with HERC. The contracts for the purchase of that power are up in 2018. And the contract with Covanta is up in 2018. And if we don't have a plan right now, 2018 will come and go. And we can together create a phase-out plan. I created 2 fact sheets in the back of the room, and I encourage you to take them. And if you give me your card, I can also email them to you because it has some links. And the last thing is that Ramsey County decided to spend $260-something million to buy the incinerator that they subsidized. They made the vote. But it's not too late to stop that either, and that's been proven in many incinerator fights across the country, and we can talk to Monica about how there's still time to turn that around. So that's everything that I have to say to you. I guess the last thing I do want to say, one more thing, is that zero waste holds everything and everyone in the highest esteem. And if you walk around with that feeling, it's a very buoyant feeling. And so I encourage you to do that. Thank you very much.